Everyone, welcome back to another full end breakdown. Let's start in the seventh. We have just scored one, and we are down by one, and we are hustling to clear the house because at our club at 7:15, wherever you are in your game, you're in your final end then. But if you haven't started that end, your game is over. And we only have about 10 seconds to get this rock down the ice. I tell our lead, just throw it down there. Doesn't matter where it ends up. We'll figure it out from there. Our skip says, wait, did we score? I guess we're playing. What happened? Yes, we did. We got that rock off in time. This is a full end breakdown. And if you like this content, please make sure to like and subscribe so you get more of this showing up in your YouTube feed. Today, we're going to talk about the importance of rock placement in a 1-point game. We're going to show you every shot in this end so you can see how we got to the end result of this game. When we have the hammer and we have the lead in a 1-point game, we want to keep that middle open. We're trying to run our opponents out of rocks, and we're really just trying to play to give ourselves a shot for the win. Even though we're up by one, we still need to score to win. So as long as we keep things open, we are going to give ourselves that opportunity. Now, without hammer and being down by one, we have a lot of work we need to do. We need center guards. We need to hide behind things. We need to hit and stick. We need to hit and roll. We need to keep our rocks in play at all costs. And we need a little bit of luck as well. A lot of club play comes down to how lucky you can be. It does come down to who can make the most shots when it matters the most. We've just completed the lead rocks. Here's what our situation is right now. Our opponents have shot rock under a bit of cover. We're trying to sit on that yellow one that's shot so we can try to build from there, come out a little bit narrow, a little bit heavy, but a good plan B comes of it because we take care of that rock in the house. Opens things up a little bit more for us. They're going to try and hide behind our rock in the house, but they come out a little bit narrow. Their shooter is going to slide over and give a little bit of protection to their shot rock. So a good outcome nonetheless. And now we have to try to still get after that shot rock. And we're either going to do it by running back their shooter they just threw, or we'll just change up some of the angles. And I think what happens here was the best case scenario, because not only do we move some rocks around, our shooter stays in play as well. And we changed up some of the angles in the end. If you saw my last video, I talked a little bit about how just changing up some of the angles can be really helpful and just kind of changing the complexion of the end. That's what happened here. Both teams now have a look at potential double takeouts. The opponents, they decide to do the hit and stick so that they can just be sitting three, which I think was a really good call on their part as well. Here it comes. Perfect shot, hit and stick. Now we have our shot for this hit and roll. And we do want it to be a hit and roll, because if I take both of these rocks out, that leaves our stone exposed. They're just going to keep running us out of rocks. We need to get the hit and roll so that we remove one of their rocks. We sit on top of that shot rock in the forefoot. And now they can't just do a straight takeout on our rock. They'll lose theirs in the process, and we would potentially still be shot rock after they throw their stone. Let's take a look at how this all unfolded. Here comes my shot. Right on line, hits it perfectly, and gets the little bit of a roll. There's a little bit more space than what I would wanted, but very good shot nonetheless. We're now sitting shot. Our opponents, looking at this setup, they know they just need to get rid of our shot rock. If that means that they lose their yellow one in the back, that's fine. They got the hammer. They have a huge advantage here. So here comes the shot down the ice. Hits it perfectly. They got rid of our shot rock. That was goal number one. They lose their backing, but that's okay. They are now sitting two in this end. We got some work to do. They're sitting two. We're trying to figure out what we want to do. And original call was for this to be a hit and roll under the cover. But in hindsight, I think it worked out better that I actually missed this shot, because it wasn't a complete miss. It was just not what we intended. It was a good plan B at the end of the day. I come in, I hit the right side of the rock, and I roll over into the 12-foot, but it kept things open for potential draws. It got rid of their shot rock. So a lot of good came out of it. it just wasn't the ideal shot of hitting it and rolling under cover to make it a little bit harder for our opponents. What they have set up here now is they're looking to come down this right side and place this rock right in the 8-foot in line with what they have as the shot rock. And this is where rock placement becomes really important. We can't just do a straight takeout on their rock and sit shot because we'll still be in the blue. They'll still have one. This is also where luck came into play as well. Comes up a little bit short. Now it's just a guard. We are now going to have the opportunity to have the perfect rock placement in order to put more pressure on our opponents who have the hammer. What we really need in this situation is we need to hit and stick, because when we look at it from up above, with a hit and stick, we will not only be sitting 4, but they can't do a straight up takeout on any of our rocks where they hit and stick. They would need to have to do a hit and roll, or they would have to just draw it with the open side of the ice. So a perfect hit on this shot rock would put a lot of pressure on our opponents. They'd have to draw through those red ones. They'd have to hit and roll. They'd have to draw from the other side. And that is the position we want to put them in. Put them into a tough shot. I'm trying to get what handle our skip wants. That's the handle he wants to go with. Here comes the shot. And look at this. Perfect hit. Perfect sit. And now look at this from up above again. No opportunities to return the favor on us without us still being the shot rock. That was the perfect shot from our skip. They're weighing their options here with their first skip stone. Hit and roll is the one that they're looking at the most. They're going to look at this draw, but that side of the ice has been very finicky. And if you've got a lot of experience and you know how to read the ice and you know how you've been throwing, you can sometimes take that one out of the equation because you just know, like, I don't feel confident with the draw. I don't like how the ice is playing. I'd rather do a hit and roll because I can run into something. And that's what they opt here for. They want to do the hit and roll because if they go under cover, now we almost have to do a raise back to get our point. That's going to be a tough shot. Here comes their shot. It did not curl at all. The speed was perfect. Just did not curl for them. Very unfortunate in that situation. Now we are looking to choke off another draw point because they might say, hey, we couldn't make that shot. Now we're going to try that draw, but we can put one right there at the top of the 8-foot. Let's go over why that rock needs to be there. We're taking away the draw to the 4-foot. They can't do a hit and stick and be shot rock. They get 3 shots. They can try the hit and roll again. They can try to draw further out on the right side, or they can try to draw through the red rocks in the house. None of those are great options for our opponents. They're all really hard shots, but we put the pressure on them by making a perfect shot here. But this right side of the ice was very hard to read, very finicky, and it just slides all the way to the back. I'm having our sweepers try to get it out of the house in general because I just don't want them to run into it. I don't want it to be on the tee line where now it's an easy takeout or they can draw down to it. Just don't want it to be part of their shot-making decision. And as they look at it from up above and down on the ice, they are contemplating the hit and roll again. When I was down there on the ice, they're saying, like, we can do this. They don't like this right side because of the way the rocks have been going down that way. They do have this option. If it's a little bit lighter, they could still sneak it through there. But they're going for this hit and roll. That's what they see as their best option for the win here. We're waiting in the back. We feel like we've done all we can to try to win this game. It now comes down to the opponents with the hammer. They took a little bit off with the shot, hoping that it would curl a little bit more, get a little bit of a hit and a little bit of a roll, but it just kept hanging out there, and we were able to stick around and pick up the win. None of this is possible, though, if both teams don't do their part to clear the rocks in the house so that we can get this 8th end underway. And that is why curling is great. The sportsmanship, the etiquette. This is a team, our opponents, they're up by 1. They could have slowed down. They could have made it harder for us to get this shot off, but they did everything they could to try to get this 8th end in, even though they had the lead. And that is a credit to our opponents, and that is why curling is such a great game. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe so you can see more of these full end breakdowns in the future.